Hi there again. This is Joanna Pilatovic. I'm a dancer, as a coach, graduated from Warsaw University. I'm an abstract art painter, and I'm a deeply fascinating person. And my work is to connect creative minds together and share our knowledge, skills, suggestions. So today, I would like to introduce you artists from Georgia, Emmanuel Ogunbambi. Do I say it right?
Emmanuel Ogunbambi, yes.
Hi there. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. I invited you. Let me introduce you shortly. So you are music producer, philosopher, graduated from Nigeria University. Can you state from where you graduated? I couldn't get that part right.
Yes, I graduated from Olabisi Onabanjo University in Ogun State, Nigeria. Majored in philosophy.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So, uh, besides music and philosophy, you are also a writer. I learned that you're writing a book soon to be published, so you're also going to be an author now.
Yes.
I don't know. Well, go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I just agreed. Yes, that
Okay.
yeah,
Fantastic.
yes.
Um, I wanted to ask a few questions already, but since you mentioned philosophy, I didn't know about that. Perhaps we start from that. What drew you to philosophy, and what is your best topic in it? And what is your personal philosophy?
Philosophy. I was drawn to philosophy majorly because it's so broad. It's a subject by which you touch on most other academic subjects. Most academic subjects are rooted from philosophy, and you have to be someone who likes to figure out things that most people just don't normally think about. There's so many branches of philosophy, branches like philosophy of culture, political philosophy, philosophy of science, philosophy of feminism, philosophy of mathematics. Every academic that is today branched from philosophy. And I've always been that kind of person who likes to touch a little bit of everything. So I think I fit right into it, you
Hmm.
know. And
Yeah.
yeah, my favorite subject in philosophy, I've always been drawn to metaphysics. It's like beyond the physical.
Mm.
Metaphysics is past the physical
Fantastic.
state. Yes, and I've always had an interest in that. So that's been my favorite subject. And my philosophy of life, I would say, is something that changes often because of the experiences I go through. But one thing I do base my philosophical, ideas on is you just have to keep moving, regardless, and be able to adapt. You have to be able to change with the times, because
Mhm.
nothing really stays the same forever.
So you are into evolution and progress and
Yeah,
adjusting, let's say, like a Bruce Lee with being fluent in the water.
right, exactly. Be like water, he said.
Yes, like a water. It's great because um, it allows to not be one-sided. The moment you don't stick to
Right,
one idea for to protect it and fight for it in the name of idea, but you're adjusting and take what you need in your life to go on. So
exactly.
I found it very helpful because I wanted to ask you how that helps you with your life, but you actually answered that question already, unless you want to add to it.
I mean, it adds in every way. I apply it in every field of or every aspect of my life.
Mhm.
Being diverse and adaptable, going with the times, as they say, take it one day at a time. So I take it every decision at a time, decision by decision. I make one decision at a time and I just keep it moving from there.
Okay. Uh, I learned about you just a little bit. So you were born in Georgia, in America, and
Yes.
you were living in Nigeria for 14 years.
But
So,
13 years, to be exact.
yeah.
Yes.
So how you found yourself in those cultures? Anything you would, any observations, ideas? How do you feel yourself? How do you fit in? Um, Anything most important you would like to share?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I learned a great deal growing up in the United States and then having the opportunity to travel out to another country like Africa, Nigeria, and see that there's so many differences in comparison to, that of the United States. It goes to show you that you can't be too closed-minded, that there's a variety of cultures out there. Even within one country, there are multiple, languages, multiple traditions, multiple religions in the same country like that. And it just goes to show that, we are diverse in the world. There's so much difference. We get blindfolded being in the United States or being where we're born, and we believe what we see is all. That's the end to it. But
Mhm.
given the opportunity, I was able to see that there's so much more.
Mhm. Anything meaningful, like you take from the cultures, or that you learn something that you don't have in America, and the other way around, that you could bring there?
Yes. One is the food. The food is,
All right. Yeah.
yeah, the food is different. It's a lot. I'm not gonna say a lot better. I mean, who doesn't love a burger, But there's good food there, and they have their own way of doing things, their own way of making this food, their own way of processing this food, and it tastes good. Some people don't like it, but a lot of people do. I brought some of the dishes over here, and I make them, and people like them also,
Mm,
And what else? The music. Me being a music producer, I produce a little bit of that, but it really hasn't been my major. But the music is good there too. It's different,
oh
and it's
yeah.
also, the dress codes, the dressing, the way they dress, the material, very dynamic and cultural, very good.
I'm gonna stay a little bit longer with that music you just mentioned, because I was learning drumming former times, and what I learned about African rhythms, there is
Okay,
so much more richer
right.
than what you have. So I assume you implement that in your music. Is that right?
Actually, no, I haven't really put much of that
Uh-huh.
into my music. I just, you know, my dad is from there. I have family there. My roots are there. So, I take a little bit of the flavor and I mix it with the American flavor, and I piece it together and I create something different, something new, you know, in my music.
All right, that's how it works.
Yes.
So let's talk about music, how it started for you. Were you always drawn to music? What can you tell your earliest moment? Who influenced you? What was your greatest inspiration?
Well, it started back when I was very little. Um, I used to hear my parents play music, people like Marvin Gaye, you know, Bob Marley, Little Richard. I've heard Little Richard, Prince, Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started hearing the rap music, Dr. Dre, Tupac, you know, uh, I even heard a group called Beastie Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with the instrumentals first, and I used to wonder how they made it. And I said, I want to learn how to make these too. I want
Mm-hmm.
to learn how to make these too. And, listening to the lyrics, I just liked how they pieced everything together. And I wanted to do that too. I felt like something I would always want to achieve. And I started trying to do it. And I found out that I was kind of good at it. And I started doing more and more, and I fell in love with it, and I just keep doing it. I've been doing it ever since.
It sounds like it's the greatest feeling you have from music. I'm assuming, because if you are something into something so deeply, so much, you are almost like becoming one with it.
Yes.
Like You cannot probably live without it.
Probably not. I don't. Nah, I don't see myself without music. Music is life.
Okay, so now I'm asking because that means you are an artist. And
Yes.
that means we are living in the world and artists have a different situation there. So how it is to be in the world you're living in America, let's say, because now you are in America, how it is to be a musician, be an artist, be a music producer there. What are your challenges, your um, greatest parts, your, obstacles?
Yeah. I gotta say it has been it's been a tough road because the level of competition, is just so great. There is a lot of competition. A lot of people want to do it. A lot of people are good at it, and a lot of people would do anything to be the top guy. So it's just a matter of being different, being dynamic, creating your craft and being good in your craft and just sticking to your guns. You can only do so much. You can't do more than yourself. You can only do your best and just allow those to appreciate it. Allow those who appreciate it to appreciate it.
So what
That's all.
helps you to stay on track? What helps you to create your music the way you want to?
The constant need for being different. I don't want to be like anybody else in the game, and it's
Mhm.
always been a goal of mine to stand out, not to blend in. I'm always
That's
trying
the
to.
motivation.
I'm sorry.
That's the motivation, like the basic motivation to be
Yeah,
different.
be different always. I never follow the crowd. I'm always trying to create something new, something different from
Hmm.
what I've heard, from what people are used to. And that makes it really difficult because people are drawn to what they're used to hearing. They want to hear something similar to what they've known, but I have been very stubborn to that opinion and refuse to just go with that.
So the second one is perseverance.
Yes.
Okay, so you're consequent with it. You keep going your way. You know what you want to
Right.
achieve with your music.
Yes.
And what inspires you when you create your music?
Sounds, the different sounds. It's almost spiritual, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it touches me when I mix certain sounds together. It creates a euphoria, you know, and a sensation that I love to feel.
Mm.
And I like to pass it on to others. It's something I want others to feel too. That's why I continue to do it because I've discovered that music is medicinal. It's also therapeutic. You know, people heal from music. I've healed from music. So it's just like being a doctor, and but I'm not prescribing medicine. I'm prescribing music, you know.
That's a good
Get
one.
my
That's a good one. Music is vibration, so yeah, why not? And the different sound, the different frequency of it. Um,
Yes.
do you hear the sounds in your head before you create, or you just have the need and you start playing with sounds and then you let them develop the way your subconscious mind or something within you, your spirit leads you to it?
It's a little bit of because I have to go into my sound bank. I touch this one, touch that one. Okay. Nah, I take this one away, add another one. It becomes like a chef in the kitchen
Yeah.
mixing up different seasonings. When you're cooking a dish, you're tasting this. Nah, this might need a little bit more pepper. This might need some salt. Add a little bit.
Hmm.
And, you keep going until you get the perfect blend. And then that's what you do.
Now you sound experimental with your music. You like to
Yeah.
experiment?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then I get that right now. Uh,
Exactly.
mhm. Do you want to add anything else to the music? Because I have a little bit more questions for you, which I prepared. Um, what are your maybe the wish for your life or goal? What are you? where you
Mm,
going to, where you directing your path as an artist, as human being?
mm. That is a very good question. What I constantly think about is just trying to make a difference, you know, being different in the music industry, creating music that people can listen to
Hmm.
years from now and it'll still sound like whatever music is coming out at that current time,
Hmm.
you know,
Why do you want to make a difference?
because difference is good, change is good. Being stagnant in a mindset in a structural way is not good, in a physical or spiritual way is not good either. I think there's a need for us to continue to develop and continue to grow. So the only way we can do that is through change.
Hmm. So something within you seeks constant evolution,
Yes.
improvement.
Yes.
Fantastic. I understand that feeling very well. Um, what are your biggest challenges in following your own self in this?
My biggest challenges are that I'm never satisfied. You know, I try to be satisfied, but I'm never satisfied. Like I can be done with something, it might be good to me, but I'm always finding a fault in it. Even though it's good, I'm still finding problems with it. And instead of me to let it go and let it be good sometimes, I might go too far with it. I
So
think
do
that's the
you,
only thing.
sorry to interrupt you. So do you need other people as a feedback because that actually may help you to keep something you created?
Other people's opinions are useful. They're good. I do take feedback into consideration. I listen to other people's opinions, but sometimes it doesn't always become my determining factor, but I always take it into consideration what might need to change, what I might be able to use from their opinions, but it's never the basis, what I'm doing, you know.
But when you say you're never satisfied 100%, but you're satisfied to some degree because you obviously putting your music out there, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm satisfied with the music. What I'm saying is I'm always wanting it to be better. Like regardless, it might be perfect. I might get good feedback. Other people might say they love it, but even the artists I might work with, we might do a song together. They're all good and happy with it. But me, I'm just like something could be different. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just gotta find something else to do to it, and it might be already perfect.
That's a
You know.
beautiful drive you have.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. Um, I like that because that allows you to continuously create and keep on going. And in this case, you continuously inspired by something, triggered by something. There is a new thought in your mind. Some people
Yes.
don't have it. I think it's also a blessing, I would say.
I mean, I would say so too. I think it's
Yeah.
something we could all have and share. That's why I share my material.
Hmm. I didn't mention one thing yet, so I'm gonna do it now. You are also promoting other artists, businesses, and you are
Yes.
using your music to it. Can you share something about that? What
Yes. Yes.
inspired
I
you to do
decided.
that?
I'm sorry.
What inspired you to do that, to use your music to actually promote other, to help others? Because it sounds like you're helping other people too.
Yeah. Just being a good person, I think, and the natural interest in helping people. And I've always liked to see other people develop and grow and be successful, even if I'm not the person that's being successful at the time. And I just felt like I'm trying to do this for myself too. I can do it for other people at the same time, and it benefits all of us. You know, that's
I
just
love
what I
that.
was.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very important. I'm asking this question because creating this community of people similar minded, it's very important. People's intention, people what they, how they think, how to understand this concept that we are all together in
Right.
the same world, and if we don't support each other, then maybe we're not gonna progress that well after all.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I think it's very, very. useful, to be useful to each other, in a very productive way. We should all work together, to lift each other up in any way we can, in fun ways. That's why I use my music, and I decided to promote other people along with myself with my music,
That makes
making
you
money.
idealist.
Yes.
Okay, you agree with that? Okay. Uh, so because I like to talk about extraordinary things, and share also with something that not everyone perceives so easily, and some people have this sort of experience. Can you share, or if you have something like that, anything like almost miracles or unexplainable that happened in your life, some sort of a blessing, something you felt deeply, or something happened that you cannot explain, but there was some factor in it? I'm not saying that it's miracle, but it looked like that, or it felt like that.
I don't know where to start. There
You
have
have
been
something, right?
many occasions where I felt like it was over for me, and I was pulled out of the fire, just unexpectedly.
Wow.
And I can only be grateful because I know there are a lot of people who go through things, they're not always as fortunate, and I was, and I still call myself that because I made it through certain situations. If I really want to be specific, let me think of a time. I mean, I don't know. I'm finding it hard to even pick right now. But I'm
So
just gonna just
we
grab
need to,
one. I'm
we
sorry.
may we may do another video about it if you have a if you need a moment to prepare for that. We also may do another video about it because I'm
Yeah.
interested in those moments that people cannot explain. And
Right.
I'm not really saying like something happened or didn't happen, but it
Right.
changes people's life for
Right.
the better usually.
Yeah. Definitely. We go through those moments where we think life is over with, and then suddenly, we just get this window and it's like, wow. So wow, you just don't know what to say. You're just thankful.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we've all been there at some point in time, you know.
So let's go back here to your philosophy. If
Okay.
so, maybe something will still come to your mind. How do you explain that in the terms of philosophy or belief system? Because some people believe in angels, some people believe in spirit guides, or they actually are claiming they're talking to one or
Right.
many. How do you explain that to yourself? What happened to you? Who helped you really?
Mm, I did read the Bible a couple of times.
Right?
I was when I mean I haven't been reading as I'm supposed to as I have been supposed to or am supposed to recently, but there was a time I can say there was a time that I was devout and I was reading like a chapter a day. It took me 2 years to read the Bible. I was reading like a chapter every day or two chapters a day, three chapters a day. If I skipped a day, I go back and read up to where I left off. And apart from that, I was looking into other religions. I observed the Muslims. I observed the Buddhists, and I observed those who don't believe in any of this too. That
Mhm.
was where philosophy of culture came in. We did theology and philosophy where we talk about religion.
Mhm.
So I apply what I learned in school to what I observed also in the society and in how people, treat these things. And, you really can't say because one of my courses, they even told us we had an exam where we were asked to prove that God exists, and then we were told to prove that He doesn't exist.
Fantastic.
So
I love it.
when you're put in a position to 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 be both sides, it stretches your mind,
Yeah.
and you had to do it. And after doing that, it opened my mind up to the realization that you just have to let people believe, what they believe, If it's for them, it's for them. If it's not for you, just leave it alone, because people will believe what they are taught to believe. You know,
Mhm.
they'll realize if
Out,
not,
so I'm gonna turn my. You cut out for a second. Can you repeat that last sentence? I cut off my camera.
um, I said people will believe what they believe,
Yeah.
and if it's not for them, they'll leave it alone. If it's for them, they'll just continue to believe what they have always been taught to believe.
Right. I absolutely love that, what you're saying. I agree with that because um, I also have some experience with psychology after a number of courses. And what you mentioned about proving God existence or non-existence,
Right.
we have that in psychology when you are putting yourself in the shoes of somebody else
Exactly.
and the third person, an observer of the situation. I'm putting it right back on. I think we established the connection now.
Right.
Um, so we have something more to discuss and talk about. Um, for now, I think we can stop and this interview particularly, but if
Right.
any of our audience, whoever sees that, have questions, please comment, share, ask. Maybe you are an artist out there, maybe you're trying to connect with other creatives, maybe you need to learn something or want something, have something to share with us too. So reach out. And if you are also, because you do this promotion for artists, so if someone needs you, I'm going to put under the video your contact information,
No
uh,
problem.
in case someone wants to do something with your music and
Right.
yeah, get inspired. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
connecting,
Thank you
and
also. I appreciate you having me.
thank you, and looking forward for the next time. And everyone have a lovely day.
All right.
Bye bye.